number 25. You guys, can you edit the name with the numbers first? Easy for me to call you. Miss 25?
I'm here. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Okay. The question number 1 is when the LC transactions of me step number 4. At the previous lesson, we studied step number 4 is exporter check content of the LC. So when the LC transaction can omit step number 4 is I think exporter and importer have checked with each other many times, and importer have a high reputations. And also the confirming bank has discussed the content for the exporter in set 3, and the time to deliver goods is not urgent.
The question is omit step number 4, right?
Yes.
Omit step number 4. What do you understand the question?
I think omit step number 4 is you
How many steps do they have?
There are 9 steps.
Except step 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. So step 4 is delivery the goods.
Step 4 is exporter check content of the LC.
No. Step 4 on the slide. Look at on the slide.
Exporter check content of the LC and they ship the good.
Yes. So step number 4 is the exporter ship the goods, right?
Yes.
That is the step number 4. Checking the document, checking the content of LC is not step number 4, because why I said that, after look at on the slide by the step number 3, the importer, after step number 3, the exporter has LC, right?
Yes.
Because he received the LC from advising bank. He received the LC from advising bank. Okay, so of course, the exporter needs to check the content of the LC because he has to know that if he shipped the goods, he needs to present the documents, submit the documents in order to obtain payment, right? In order to get paid. That's why the exporter need to check the documents. But it doesn't mean that same step with step number 4. If he checks the documents and if he thinks that the contents of LC is not good for him, not safe for him, or the content of the LC is different from the content of the sales contract, but not good for him or for her, of course, the exporter never ship the goods. Do you understand my meaning?
Yes.
Okay. So if he or she agrees, he ship the goods by step number 4. So come back question. Omit step number 4.
I think if we omit step number 4, maybe the exporter out of the stock, or someone else bid more expensive, so they cancel the good for the one. That's important.
Okay, so you said that maybe because of real reasons, the exporter cannot ship the goods, right?
Yes.
Is your meaning? Yes, if because of some reasons he cannot ship the goods, or he cannot manufacture, produce the products, and then cannot have the goods. Okay, but if he cannot have goods to send to the importer, why the exporter creates documents and presents document to the nominated bank by step number 5?
I think they still create the LC because they still want to ship the good for someone else who bids more expensive than this importer.
If the exporter wants to sell the goods to another buyer, right? To another
Yes.
buyer. Of course, the documents, the content of documents need to base on the information of the new buyer. At that time, no goods, but still have the document to send to the bank, and in the end, the issuing bank receive the documents by step number 6, and then issuing bank has to pay if the documents are CP. Why? You don't ship the goods to the importer, but you still want to get payment from the issuing bank. What about the purpose of that?
I think maybe it has risk when shipping good. Some risky when you shipping good, like it's lock your goods.
Actually, is in this case no good at all. Nothing from the exporter to the importer. Okay, but that's why we need to discuss. Why no step number 4, but still have other steps. Number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9. The most important for this case is the exporter doesn't ship the goods, but still want to get paid. Okay, thank you very much. Anyway, please, number 12, please. 12, please. Are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Yes.
Still, question number 1, right?
Yes.
So the first, I have the same answer with number 25, but I think maybe it have some different from the content before. So the exporter still want to receive the pay, but don't want to send the goods. By other ways, maybe they don't have enough goods to send, so they want to fix the content. I think so.
Okay, so now suppose that, or if you were the exporter beneficiary, what about your task after you sign a sale contract, after you receive the LC? Explain to us. After signing the sales contract, and especially after you receive the LC, what do you do? After having sales contract, after having LC?
You mean with the exporter or importer?
Yes, exporter. You were exporter. You sign contract with your partner, right? The importer in this case, and also your partner asked his bank to issue LC. And then after step number 3, you have a LC in your hands, right? So now, before step number 4, you have 2 different contracts. The first one is a sales contract. It is an agreement between you and the importer. You promise that you ship the goods, right? Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. And you receive the LC from advising bank. Based on the content of the LC, you know that from now, issuing bank becomes the a payer, right? Person who makes payment. Okay. So you think that you know that two different things. First one is ship the goods to the importer. The second thing is you need to collect payment from the importer or from issuing bank.
From the issuing bank.
Right, from the issuing bank. Okay, issuing bank normally is an importer's bank, right? Issuing bank located in importer's country. The issuing bank is here. For example, he cannot know exactly that whether you ship the goods or not. They just receive the documents, and based on the documents, issuing bank check the content of documents. And if there is no discrepancies, no difference between documents and LC, I'm sure that issuing bank cannot exactly that know step number 4. If you can create the documents well, you hide a lot of things. That's why the issuing bank cannot know. And if they cannot know and they check the documents called CP, compliant presentation. They pay you. Only you know exactly that you have no goods. You have not sent the goods to the importer. But you are waiting for the payment, right? Right? Is that right? Miss 12? Okay. So why do you action like that? You omit the goods, you don't ship the goods, but you present the document to the bank, to nominated bank, with hope that you receive the payment from issuing bank. You are a good person or not? The exporter.
I think the exporter is not good.
Yes, he or she doesn't want to ship the goods, but still want to have a payment. It is a fraudulence.
Maybe it's when the exporter wants to cheating on importer. I think so.
Yes, also cheating in issuing bank. Remember, all of you, listen to me, please. Sometimes the exporter and the importer, they have black business. Do you know black business? They do black business. Do you understand that meaning?
Yes.
They sign contract like I sell the goods to you and you import the goods to me. But under LC transaction, all of them understand exactly that the bank will pay, but not the importer. So the exporter and the importer take advantage of this method. And then if the exporter get payment, he will divide into 2 parts, or maybe the exporter get 2 of 3, and the importer get 1 of 3. So I want you to remember that if omit step number 4 mean that the exporter frauds, lừa đảo. fraud. Maybe fraud the importer. Maybe fraud is suing bank. So we need to think about solution to prevent this situation. What do you think about solution? What do you think about solution? Okay, number 39, please.
In this case, I think that there are some solutions like working with reputable partners to negotiate closely on the delivery packing conditions. You must have photos and videos sent to the importer. And
Okay, moment. Sorry. You said me. You said you. Who are you in this case?
I think I'm importer.
Mm-hmm.
So when the exporter packing, so I can have someone of my company to go to this and have photo and video to send back to me.
Photo of what? Photo of what? I'm so sorry. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. Hello? Go on, please. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes. So the photo and videos about the goods, the quality of the goods, or the photo and video about the goods is was delivery from the post.
You mean that the importer needs to check the goods before the exporter ship the goods,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To make sure that the exporter ship the goods, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you think about this situation? Not easy for you to fly from Vietnam to other country because of COVID-19. So, what about the other solution?
So the other solution is you can consult the bank about the partner's business history to make sure that they have their well reputations. And the third is clearly stipulate the penalty clause in the foreign exchange contract if the contract is not performed.
Go on, please. So, Miss Ngọc Nhung, maybe 39, said that the importer need to check the reputation of the exporter, right? We have a lot of different ways to check the reputation of the exporter. And like Ms. Nhung said that the importer needs to discover the exporter to make sure that the exporter is good enough to do business with. Is that your meaning, right?
Yes, and you have some punishment terms in the contract.
Yes, punishment terms. So you hope that if there is no step number 4, and then you can sue the exporter, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, but I agree with you. But when you do business, like me, I had experience before when I export the goods to Europe, Europe market. Yes, I think about the punishment terms, conditions But I'm really afraid of that because when you seal the partner, it is not easy because it takes time and it costs a lot. And sometimes you are right, but you are very tired if you seal the partner. You are very tired if you seal the partner. Also, even you are very you are right. And another reason that the parties to international transaction, don't want to sue each other because of maybe after suing, maybe your reputation will be changed. I mean that with the bad way, but not with the good way. That's why I think that we should think about solution we should do business with the good or high reputation. We should get information from reputable banks, or we can get information from some companies. They sell service, they do service, they sell information. Or you can get information from different ways. For example, from embassy. For example, we do business with American exporter. You can get information from Vietnamese embassy in New York. You can get easily. Okay, so now my conclusion is, in fact, sometimes the transaction has 9 steps, except step number 4. So we have to think about solution to prevent this. Okay, it is maybe I think that if we have time, we will discuss more, but time is limited, so we should move to the next question. I think that in this week, we have final decision on your exam, final exam. This week I mean that not I and my colleague Banking Academy of Vietnam discussed about the method of checking students in the final exam. So I will inform you. I will notice you as soon as possible. Okay, so now move to the next question. Number 24, please. Can you repeat question first, and then you explain the answer?
The next question you asked us was the question number 6. When does an LC transaction stop at statement number 6? The step number 6 is when the nominated bank in turn transfer documents to the issuing bank, and it stops at step 6 when the issuing bank receive documents and they check and they see that the documents do not comply with the content of LC, which means that different from many years ago, the letters of credit were transmitted by simple technology, which the conditions were kept to a minimum because each word had a cost. But nowadays, the letter of credit are sent by more modern ways, which allows the applicant to set a lot of conditions, some of which maybe are very difficult for the exporter to meet. And a common reason for failing to meet conditions, it is a late shipment, or there could be some mathematical errors, some difference between the documents and the LC.
including a spelling mistake or some errors of punctuation, and it could be incorrect description of goods.
Okay.
And the more
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
and the more conditions there are, the harder it is for the exporter to meet it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now I have a question for you. You said the nominated bank forwarded the document to issuing bank, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, if you said that, I understood that the documents nominated bank sent to issuing bank are the same with the documents they receive from the exporter. Is that right or wrong?
The documents that
Because you use the word forward. Forward means that you, for example, I received the email from you, right? And then I resend that document, your email to another person. That is a forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But sometimes before you forward the documents, you do some action, and then you add your new contents with the email, and then you forward the contents you received from the previous person. That is also forward. That's why I ask you. Now, after nominated bank, look at on the slide. After step number 5, you receive the documents from the exporter, right? Can you list the documents that nominated bank received from the exporter, the beneficiary? What kind of documents?
The documents that the exporter sent to the negotiated bank.
Sent to nominated bank.
Yeah,
Because of nominated bank and negotiating bank are different. I will explain later.
Yeah,
Nominated bank, yes.
They receive including the bill of landing, the bill of exchange, an invoice, which is bill related with the goods.
Mm-hmm. So we say that commercial documents, right? Okay, what else?
There's some packing documents. And I think that they don't forward all of this to the bank because bank only receive the documents that relate to receive the goods, relate to the importer to receive the goods.
So we stop here. I need someone to add something before we discuss. Now my question, look at on the slide. Step number 5 is the exporter or beneficiary send or submit or presents documents to the nominated bank. Is that step number 5, right? Of course, based on the content of the LC, the exporter knows that what kind of documents he presents to the bank based on the content of the LC, right? For example, like Ms. 24 said, maybe bill of lading, maybe insurance documents, maybe invoice. Okay, it is based on the content of the LC. Okay, what else? 46, please. Remember, if you raise the hand, yes, I see, but because I am talking, that's why I cannot stop immediately. I will invite you. That's why please don't lower your hands.
I'm sorry. I just touched about that. I don't have the idea to raise my hand.
Okay. What about 24? Go on with the answer, right? 24, please.
It may include also insurance policy on a certificate of origin.
All of them related to goods, right? What about financial documents? What do you think? Financial documents.
In the case that if the importer have to borrow money from the bank, or if there's some problems, they are on the importer side. So I don't think the exporter have to do with financial documents.
Okay, so now it is not my conclusion. What about the others? Yes, 23, please.
I think it might include the invoice, commercial invoice.
Commercial invoice is commercial documents. Okay. My question is, what do you think about financial documents? We studied some weeks ago about chapter 2. Chapter 2 is instruments in international payments, or international payment instruments like a bill of exchange, check, payment cards. Do you remember bill of exchange? Do you remember? Try to answer my question. Try to listen my question, because I think that 90% that you have oral exam. You have. I think that 90%. So you need to explain your understanding. Okay, so my question is by step number 5. Is there financial documents? Is there BE, bill of exchange? Yes or no? 20 number 3, what do you think? Or only commercial documents like a commercial invoice, bill of lading, insurance documents, packing list, certificate of quality, certificate of quantity. What do you think? Now, remember, step number 5, creates documents, presents documents to nominated bank. Of course, the exporter needs to prepare all documents that LC calls for. And the exporter needs to issue a BE, bill of exchange. The BE, bill of exchange, in this transaction under LC transaction, shows that the drawee is issuing bank. Hopefully you still remember drawee. Who are they? What is it in Vietnamese? Drawee. I sent to you. Drawee. I said that the exporter creates BE so the name of drawee. Drawee in Vietnamese
is the importer.
No. No. Drawee in Vietnamese. Someone said người ký phát is wrong.
Người bị ký phát.
Yes, người bị ký phát or người trả tiền. So người ký phát. Drawee is người trả tiền. Người bị ký phát or người trả tiền. So in this case, what do you think? The importer is drawee or Exim Bank is drawee. Who is drawee under LC transaction? Who is drawee? Who is a drawee under LC transaction? Yes, number 10, please.
I think in the LC transaction, the issuing bank is the drawee and the exporter is the drawer of the BL.
Yes, number 39, please.
Just I also think that.
Okay, so now drawee is Exim Bank is right. Drawee is Exim Bank is right, and if the drawee if Exim Bank is a drawee, so you write when you say exporter is drawer, it's right. But remember, especially next year when you become bank staff, you need to know about things that I am going to talk to you. Normally under LC transaction, we have only one BE, one type of BE, according to drawer and drawee. Like Mr. Number 10 and number 39 said that the exporter is a drawer and the Exim Bank is drawee, right? But sometimes we see another BE. The drawer is nominated bank and the drawee is reimbursement bank. So I mean that two banks appear in the BE. Nominated bank is drawer and reimbursement bank is drawee. I think that you are not worried about that, but I want you to remember that under LC transaction, it might have more than one BE, But remember, if the drawer is exporter, so the drawee is Exim Bank. Do you understand my meaning? If the exporter issues the BE, the Exim Bank must be a drawee. Is that clear for you? Is that clear for you? Hello?
Yes, it's quite clear.
Okay. So now, step number 5. Come back, step number 5. The exporter creates the BE. And so the drawee is Exim Bank, right? And now imagine all documents includes commercial documents and BE in the hands of nominated bank. After step number 5, all documents in the hands of nominated bank. Okay, so now before nominated bank transfer document to the Exim Bank, what does nominated bank do? When I explain about collection, I said about cover letter. What's that? Cover letter or cover note. Do you still remember what that in Vietnamese? Yes, 29, please.
It's thư đòi tiền.
Thu đòi tiền. Okay, so thank you very much. Look at the step number 6. The nominated bank creates cover letter and forward all documents received from the exporter to the issuing bank. Okay, so our question is the transaction stop at step number 6. And sorry, I forgot the number. And she said that because the issuing bank found out some mistakes, some discrepancies, some differences between she said that between the documents. Okay, so now I want you to remember that if, of course, after receiving the documents by step number 6, issuing bank check the documents. There are two different cases when you check the documents. First case is documents are CP. The second case is opposite. I mean that non-CP. Okay, so now go on with the two different cases. What do you do if the document is a CP? What do you do if the document is non-CP or non-CP? Number 39, please. If the document is a CP, can the transaction stop at step number 6? Listen to me, please. If the documents are CP, can the transaction stop at step number 6? Yes or no? All of you think about my question. Look at on the slide, step number 6. After receiving the documents, issuing bank check the documents. The documents are CP. What do you think that the transaction stop at step number 6? Possible or not? I give you 2 minutes to think about this. Think about that. CP, and if CP, the transaction stop at step number 6? Yes or no? The reason. And go on with the second case. If the document is non-CP, documents are non-CP, can we stop the transaction at step number 6? Oh, it depends. Think about this. Now, after a suggestion, I suggest you, so think about 2 different cases. Okay? I think that 2 minutes not enough for you. 5 minutes for 2 different cases. Okay, 5 minutes. Start from now. It is 10:25. So we'll come back to answer the question at 10:30. Okay. Hello? 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 Answer the question, please. Yes, 24, please.
As I said, there are some mistake, which means that the LC is a non-CP, non-complete.
Sorry. LC should not. We never say LC is non-CP. Non-CP or CP just say for the documents, not for the LC. Okay. Do you understand my meaning?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
When the document is a CP, all the transaction is normal and it won't be stopped at step 6. And when it is a non-CP, there's some cases that the applicant still accept the discrepant documents, but if they don't accept, so it was stopped at step 6.
Okay. So now you just answer about the second case, non-CP, right?
I said that also when it's CP, all the transactions are normal and it's still all 9 steps. It won't start at step 6.
Yeah, a little bit difficult to follow you because sometimes I lost your voice. So speak slowly. Okay. So first, if the documents are CP, do you think that the transaction stop at step number 6?
I think it won't start at step number 6 because everything is normal.
We not? You said that no, right?
Yeah,
The answer is no?
Yes.
Okay. I will conclude later, but first I need to invite some others. Okay, so she said that Miss 24 said that if the documents are CP, the transaction cannot stop at step number 6. Okay, 39, please.
Yes, I also think that if it is CP, so the transaction will be continued. And if it is non-CP, so the issuing bank should advise the importer to see that and edit that for the right.
Okay, thank you. But first we focus on the first case, that the first
Yes.
case is the documents are CP. So the transaction can stop at step number 6? Yes
I
or
think
no?
that is no.
Okay, thank you. 23, please. Go on with the first case.
As for me, I think if they are, if the CP, if we don't have the CP, it will happen if we have the CP, because in that case, the as you said before, the risk of exporter can froze and take the money, and
Okay.
it cannot stop at step 6 if they don't have any CP.
Okay, Khánh, I have a question for you. Now, if you were the exporter, you send the document to the bank, nominated bank, and now you know exactly that your bank forward the document to issuing bank. Is that clear?
Yes.
And you know that the documents are CP. Also, issuing bank check the documents and issuing bank stated the documents are CP. But you cannot receive the goods because the issuing bank goes bankrupt. What do you think? Is it happen?
I think it will not happen.
Why not? It's in
I
bank-
think it still happen because
Still happen. Yes.
because the document is already sent, so the issuing bank have to collect the money and pay for the document that already sent.
A little bit. We need to change. Okay. Now look at on the slide number 6. Step number 6. The issuing bank check the documents. The documents are CP. Now, last lesson, I explained that if the documents are CP, remember and write down, please. If the documents are CP, issuing bank needs to pay, right? Needs to pay, has to pay. Phải thanh toán. It is theory. But what happened? If the issuing bank has problem with finance issue, goes bankrupt, for example, no money to pay, of course, issuing bank cannot pay. And if issuing bank cannot pay, it means the transaction stop at step number 6. So now, first case for stopping the transaction at step number 6 is issuing bank goes bankrupt. It is terrible for the exporter. The exporter faces the risk, right? Okay, what about solution for this case? We stop here a little bit and then we answer first. Then we move to the second case, is non-CP. Okay, so I just explained that it is dangerous for you, for the exporter, if the issuing bank goes bankrupt, default, vỡ nợ. Okay, goes bankrupt, phá sản. Okay, what about solution? Look at many different banks in Vietnam. For example, Vietcombank, BIDV, Vietinbank, Agribank, MBB, MSB, ABB, Bắc Á Bank, a lot of different banks, commercial banks in Vietnam. Why a lot of foreign exporters ask the Vietnamese importer that I will sell goods to you if you use you ask Vietcombank or BIDV or Vietinbank to open LC. Why say that? Why they said that? What do you think? Why for a foreign exporter often ask you to issue LC through Vietcombank, BIDV or Vietinbank, but not small banks? What about the reason? Number 10, please.
I think because those three are the largest bank and they backed by the government, so it's very unlikely for them to go bankrupt.
It is the first thing, yes. And the second thing is with the strong bank, big banks, the foreign exporter do need worry about the financial issue of the bank. They don't worry about that, right? And Vietcombank, Vietinbank, BIDV, big banks has very high reputation. And when I say a high reputation means that they do business professionally. They know exactly about international standard when they check the documents. So you don't worry that the documents, your documents is right, but the bank said that wrong. No, you don't worry about that because they are outstanding. The bank, I said that I mentioned before, outstanding. So don't worry. That's why the solution is you should ask high reputation issuing bank. You should do business with your partner, but the partner need to ask high reputation banks to issue an LC, but not low reputation bank. Do you understand my meaning? Yes or no? Hello?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Oh my God.
I just lost your voice.
Who can explain for me? If someone can explain, it's good for me because of I have some minutes to reflect. Yes, because to speak English continuously, not easy, very, very tired. Okay, so, but I think that some of you understood my meaning. So, who help me, please? Raise your hands, please. Okay, thank you. 39, please.
So I just repeat the voice, and the first reason for choose those bank is they are strong bank and backed up by the government, so they don't worry about the financial bank. And the second is they have high reputation, so they do business so professionally. They outstanding and they understand the international contract and international term. So you don't worry about if the contract is right, but the issuing banks say that's wrong. You don't worry about that case. That case will rarely happen. So that is also the important point that the bank have high reputations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And only one thing I want to add is with the high reputation bank, with the outstanding bank, you don't worry about the way they check the documents. You don't worry. You don't worry about that. They will check the documents with international standard. Tiêu chuẩn quốc tế. So you don't worry. Yes, but with a small bank, is sometimes, oh my God, terrible. You do right, but they said wrong. Because actually, for themselves, they don't know exactly what is right, what is wrong. That's why if you was exporter, you should use service of high reputation banks. Remember, please. Okay, move to the second case. Documents is non-CP. Someone said, if the documents are non-CP, it means the transaction stop at step number 6. Is it right or wrong? I want you to reconfirm before you explain. 48, please.
Yes. I think if the document is non-CP, this bank had option to choose refuse to pay, but if not, it maybe can stop at step 6.
Okay. I want you to say clearly yes or no. I don't want you to use a word maybe. First, yes or no? Or depends?
It depends.
Okay, so when the documents when the transaction stop at step number 6 in case of non-CP? You check the documents, you say, oh God, documents are non-CP. Okay, imagine you are issuing bank. You say, the documents are non-CP. Are you sure that the transaction stop at step number 6? Immediately. Yes or no? 48, please.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So, number 10, please.
I think even though the document is not CP, the issuing bank, they will check it again one last time to verify if the transaction is stopped at step number 6 due to the document.
Okay. Your name is Dat, right?
Yes.
Okay, Dat. I ask you, if you were the importer, the importer, your bank, issuing bank, said documents are non-CP. Okay, so what about your decision? Imagine if you were the importer.
Yes, as an importer, I will be very worried about my exporter partner, and I will likely to abandon the transaction, because if the LC is not CP, they mean that the exporter are not doing their job well. They are violate some rules in the LC.
Okay, from that answer, I want you, I remind you one more time that should not use LC is non-CP or CP. CP or non-CP just for the documents, remember? Because I said that before, I said that maybe 90% that you had oral exam in final exam. That's why not only me maybe if you have an oral exam, we need to have two supervisor, two examiner, and me and other teacher. That's why we need to use exact words. We don't use CP or non-CP for LC, just for documents. Okay, so before you stop, before we have a break time, I want you to think about my question. That if the documents are non-CP, if you were the importer, you get information from your bank, I mean that issuing bank, that the documents are non-CP. Okay, if you were the importer, what do you do in this case? After break time, please answer the question. Okay, so now break time. Hello? Hello, hello. Hello? Raise your hands, please. Now, the documents are non-CP. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
we
you
can
were so
hear.
silent? Hungry? Oh, because of today is the 1st of June? Your day?
No, we just think about the question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Documents are non-CP. You were the importer. When you say that, oh, very luckily, the documents are non-CP, okay, please refuse payment. The second case is you say, yes, I know the documents has some problems, but doesn't matter. I really want to receive the documents because I want to receive the goods. What do you think? It is my suggestion. What do you think? It can happen. Yes? Yes or no? I just said about two different cases. Two different ways you react after knowing that the documents are non-CP. First case, you said, oh, no, please refuse payment. The second case, opposite case, is you say that, yes, here is my money, please pay, because I want to have the goods. It can happen. Yes or no?
Yes, both cases can
Okay,
happen.
raise your hands, please. 24, right?
Yeah. There are some cases that the importer really needs the goods, like they have to sell them to others, so they have to receive the goods. In that case, they will accept the non-CP documents to make payment.
Yes, in case you really want to receive the goods, right?
Yeah.
That's why you accept the non-CP payment, non-CP, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's
Maybe
right.
it's very.
It's right. If you really want to receive the goods, you accept the non-CP. You ignore the mistakes of the documents. But remember, if the importer wants to receive the goods, why they want to receive the goods? What about the reason they want to receive the goods? 24?
Maybe they have to. They import and they receive the goods to buy to sell for other people.
Yes,
that they
of course.
So they want to make the profit because of selling them, and maybe they have some due dates to bring the goods for the another part. So they really need the goods. Or maybe they may have some punishment for not hanging the goods in the time.
In the other contract.
Yeah, I mean that.
Okay, Mr. Sorry. Thank you very, very much. 24. She explained a lot. 44. Wait for me 1 minute. 24 said that she explained a lot of reasons that the importer wants to receive the goods, even although the documents are non-CP. Okay, now what about 44, please? 44, please.
I think I agree with Miss 24 opinion, but I think in some case the non-document non-CP not affect much about the importer beneficial, so they still agree.
Yes, very
the
good.
document.
Yes, yes. He just 44, number 44, just add one different reason that the importer accept the non-CP, right? He stated that he confirmed that sometimes non-CP documents that doesn't affect the quality of the goods. You mean, right? Is your meaning?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my.
Yes, very good. So now hopefully you can see the problem, the real reason why you don't want to receive the goods. Sorry, when you don't want to receive the goods, when you want to receive the goods, the problem here is not because of you love your partner or not. You just one thing that you can get profit. How much you can get if you receive the goods and you resell the goods, how much you can earn. If a lot, of course, non-problem, non-CP is not problem for you. But if you know that the goods you will receive not easy for you to resell, not easy for you to resell, or maybe nobody wants to buy the goods from you. Of course, in this case, you don't want to receive the goods and you feel very happy if the documents are non-CP. Okay, so now what about the final conclusion? For the second case, non-CP. For the second case, non-CP. Of course, banks, issuing bank, has rights to refuse payment. But remember and write down, please. You have to write down because now maybe you understand my meaning, but after lunch you forget all. Maybe that's why when I explain or your classmates explain, you need to write down, please, because normally I don't read for you and you write after I reading. No, it is not the way I give lecture. Okay, so now come back for non-CP. I said that issuing bank has right to refuse payment, but if the importer, I mean that the applicant wants to pay, so issuing bank will pay. And if issuing bank will pay, of course, the transaction cannot stop at step number 6. Cannot. The transaction will have step number 7, 8, 9. Okay? So, okay, go on. If, for non-CP, if the importer, the applicant doesn't accept the documents, doesn't accept non-CP, of course, the transaction stop at step number 6. The transaction stop at step number 6. Okay, so my next question, I have another question. Who face the risk? Who face the risk if the transaction stop at step number 6? If the transaction stop at step number 6, 24, please.
I think the exporter will face the risk because they have responsibility to take the fees that because they have failed to meet the letter of credit conditions, so they may have to take responsibility for that.
39, please.
I think that in this case, both exporter and importer has risks because the exporter can take money and the importer can take the goods. And if the importer can take the goods, they can resell it in time for the partner, and the exporter can take the money. They can reinvestment in some other business. Yes.
If you said, like you said that the exporter, both the exporter and the importer face a risk because the importer cannot receive the goods. So I wonder that why, if the importer really want to receive the goods, why didn't he or she approve, accept the non-CP documents?
Well, I think that in the because the mistake is too big, they can bear it. They can so they have to edit the documents to so then they take the vote. Yes.
Okay. Good. She said that if the documents has big problems, so of course the importer cannot receive the goods. That's why she said that importer face the risk. He has no chance to have the goods, or maybe he cannot sell the good to another buyer. For example, if before they had contract, for example. Okay, what do you think about the bank, Exporters Bank? Does Exporters Bank face a risk? Yes or no? You all just explain about exporter or importer face a risk, right? What about the bank of the exporter? Face risk or not? Yes, number 6, please.
I think the exporter will face the risk because maybe they when the exporter can be lose the goods and they can receive the payment from the importer.
Yes, it is the exporter, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about the bank of the exporter? Can they? Yes. Look at the slide. Step number 5. Step number 5. Beneficiary, I mean the exporter presents document to nominated bank, right? Is that clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. Now my suggestion. After receiving the documents by step number 5, suppose that nominated bank make decision on negotiation. I mean that nominated bank negotiates documents. What's the meaning of negotiates? In this case, hopefully you still remember. Now, I said, after receiving the documents by step number 5, nominated bank check the documents. After checking the documents, nominated bank agrees to negotiate the documents. So negotiate the documents here means, yes, 24, please.
Last week you said it was chiết khấu.
Yes. So can you describe about the action of the nominated bank when the nominated bank agrees to negotiate?
The negotiating bank is on the side with the importer that maybe it will
exporter.
ask for exporter, and maybe it will ask for the importer to pay more or to make the payment more easily.
Okay, so now all of you look at on the slide. Look at on the slide. Now look at step number 5. Number 5. If nominated bank agree to finance tài trợ or support or finance tài trợ. Okay, after step number 5, nominated bank can pay the exporter immediately before step number 6. Before step number 6, it means that before receiving payment from receiving bank, right? Before step number 6, before receiving the documents from receiving bank. Okay, so imagine nominated bank pays exporter. Okay, it is called negotiation, chiết khấu, negotiation. And we have two types of negotiation. Negotiation with recourse and negotiation without recourse. Next lesson, we use time to discuss about the differences between them later. Okay, but now I mean that if the bank, nominated bank, negotiate the documents, remember, if nominated bank negotiates the documents, that bank, nominated bank, becomes negotiating bank. And if the transaction stop at step number 6, negotiating bank face the risk. Negotiating bank face the risk. Especially for negotiation without recourse. Negotiation without recourse. Okay, we stop here a little bit. Now, please explain the difference between nominated bank and negotiating bank. I give you 1 minute. What are the differences between nominated bank and negotiating bank? Okay, 1 minute. Hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. If you in the final exam, if you receive the question that who is a nominated bank, who is a negotiating bank in the LC transaction, how can you explain about this? And what's the difference between them? Yes, 12, please.
I think, in my opinion, nominated bank is the bank that it has payment or discount value of the LC, and the negotiate bank, and it includes negotiate bank.
No, oh no, not really right. Anyway, thanks very much for your answer. But when you conclude that nominated bank includes negotiating bank, right? Is your your answer?
Yes.
Okay, 26, please.
I think nominated bank is the bank that is chosen in a letter of credit transactions as authorized to pay or issue a deferred payment undertaking or accept draft, and a negotiating bank is the bank authorized to make payment or presentation of the required documents by exporter.
Yes.
Once it has received payment from a confirming bank in negotiating bank.
Okay, look at this, the terms I just sent to you. Available with ... by negotiation. Oh, sorry, negotiation is a spell mistake. Spelling mistake. Okay, available with ... by negotiation. Okay, with a bank appears after the with, after the word with is that nominated bank or negotiating bank. Now I add a name bank. Sorry, I add a bank just after with. Now look at this one, available with. Okay, so now I add a bank, for example, Vietcombank by negotiation. Okay, so what about the Vietcombank? No, nominated bank or negotiating bank? Just look at these terms. Nominated bank or negotiating bank. Last lesson, I explained about available with Vietcombank, for example, Vietcombank by negotiation, and available with any bank by negotiation. Did I explain about this? Yes or no? My dear students?
Yes.
Okay. So now, Vietcombank just appear on the term. So Vietcombank is nominated bank or negotiating bank or advising bank or issuing bank. What do you think? Yes? 44, please.
I think Vietcombank is negotiating bank in this
Negotiating bank? Negotiating bank is your final answer, right?
Yeah.
39, please.
I think
without explanation, just say nominated bank or negotiating bank.
Vietcombank is nominated bank.
Okay. Number 6, please. sorry, number 17.
I have the same answer with the previous person.
Nominated bank?
Yes.
Okay. 48, please.
I think it's nominated bank.
Okay, so now next, try your best. When nominated bank becomes negotiating bank. I explained before. And I agree that, look at example. Vietcombank is nominated bank. And then now I ask you, when Vietcombank becomes negotiating bank? Yes, 28, and then number 6.
If a nominated bank negotiate document, then it's a navigating bank.
Negotiating bank. Negotiating. Yes. Number 6. Do you agree with her?
The nominating bank is become the negotiation bank when the exporter choose this bank to negotiating the document that they receive from the exporter.
Okay, you number 6. If you was the exporter, you bring the document to me, nominated bank. You bring the document to me. Sorry, how to explain? Okay, you bring the document to me and you say, Miss Hai, I want you to negotiate the documents to me. I want to negotiate the documents from you. You said that. Yes, you intend to negotiate documents from me. And then you bring the document to me. And I say, Đức Anh, I'm so sorry. I cannot negotiate the documents. So answer the question, please. In this case, can you say me as not negotiating bank? Yes or no?
In that case, I think you won't be the negotiating bank.
I still call not negotiating bank?
No.
No, not?
No.
Yes, okay. So now, what's the differences between nominated bank and negotiating bank? Who can conclude about the differences? The nominated bank is a bank appear in the terms available with, and then ... by negotiation. For example, with Vietcombank, so Vietcombank is nominated bank. With any bank, so any bank is nominated bank. Is that clear for you? Is it clear for you? Besides definition of nominated bank that some of you explained about before, so easy for you to see the nominated bank. But when the nominated bank has negotiated, so nominated bank becomes negotiating bank. So you cannot call me as a negotiating bank if I refuse negotiate. If I don't negotiate, it is not negotiating bank. Is that clear for you? Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay, so now my question, if the transaction stop at step number 6, nominated bank or negotiating bank face the risk? Number 10, please. Number 10, please.
Yes, I think the negotiating bank is the one who face the risk.
Yes.
Not the nominated bank.
Very good. Okay. So now, I think I think that we still have many questions because of, like you see that I explained a lot, and for each question I gave you before, and based on your answer, I gave more information. I analyzed much because of many different things related to the transaction. That's why last lesson I said that LC is a complicated knowledge. It's very complicated. That's why please pay attention to studying. Pay attention, please. And before we check attendance, I want to reconfirm that today I am very happy because of a lot of different students distribute the lectures. So I want you to confirm that who has more than 4 times today. Who? And can you raise your hands, please? More than, from more time, from 4 times. From 4 times. Can you raise your hands? 24, 12, 39, 10, 44. Okay, I repeat, 24, 10, 39, 12, 44, right?
Teacher,
yes.
I'm not sure about my number, so can you check my name?
Oh, I cannot check the number. You have to check because of I posted the attendance list through Google Classroom from the first lesson, I remember. Or you can, yes, if you cannot find that information, maybe you should, you need the help from the monitor, if he agrees.
Yes, monitor, can you help me?
So now I have idea that number 10, number 12, number 44, you have 2 options that you have 9 marks for the second midterm test, or you base on the result of the second midterm test and then plus 2 marks more. And okay, it is a number 10, number 12, and number 44.
Teacher, my number is 13.
Pardon?
Yeah, my number is 13.
Who say?
I'm 12.
12?
Yes, my number is 13.
So you mean that 12 is wrong?
Yeah.
Your name is Hà Đặng, right?
That's my name.
So you need to change your number. So from now, Hà Đặng with the number 30?
Yes,
13.
I changed my number.
13. Okay, again, number 13, number 10, and number 44. I have 2 options, like I just explained.
I think I will.
Moment. And 24, the two numbers, 24 and 39. You have I give you 10 marks for the second midterm test. Is that okay for all of you?
Yes, thank you.
24 and 39. Is that okay? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any question, or if you want to ask me something?
I already have 2 mark 9 on the 2 tests.
Is number 48?
Number
Sorry.
10. Number 10.
Number 10.
I already have 2 mark 9 on those 2 tests.
Mm-hmm. 9 marks, right?
Yes, but the last time you already gave me 2.
Okay, so now you mean that 2 times I give you 9 marks for second midterm test, right?
For both tests, test 1 and test 2.
Okay. So now, if because of that, number 10, I change the mark is 10 for the second midterm test.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is that okay? Any?
Teacher, excuse me. I was a lot of worried and I was raised hand for 4 times. 48.
48. Okay, 9 marks. Or 9 marks or 2. You plus 2 marks onto your second midterm test.
I chose the second.
The second option.
Yeah.
You mean that you
plus 2 marks?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, welcome. What about number 44?
I think I will receive the 9 mark on the second test.
Okay. What about 13?
I will receive 9 marks.
Okay. So just 24, you plus 2 marks onto your second midterm test result, right?
You said I will have 10.
48? 48? I didn't say 48 is get 10 marks. I'm so sorry, I said that.
No, I heard you say 24.
Yes. No, 24. 24 is first, 39 and 10 get 10 marks for the second midterm test. Is that clear? Is that right or wrong?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So all of you need to confirm with your monitor, because I just state today, but I cannot observe all of you. Okay?
I'm sorry. I have a mistake. I'm not 48. I'm 49. Sorry, teachers.
So a change from 48 to 49, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay, so the monitor, can you check the attendance, please? And then after checking, we automatically leave the class. And see you next time, I mean that on Thursday. Okay? Bye-bye. The monitor, can you check the attendance, please? Monitor, where are you?
Yes, I'm